All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Welcome to the NHK, episode 22. All right, so Sato has bumped into Hitomi.
Yes, yes, he has.
Yeah.
While out with Misaki and got separated from her, and then here we go.
Yeah.
He is not in a good way because his good friend Yamazaki is gone.
He's gone. He feels alone. He feels lost.
Yeah.
And he feels confused. So he feels like he's in that kind of a vulnerable place where he would grab onto anything that might give him a feeling of security. And in this case, it just happened to not be Misaki, which is unfortunate.
Although, given that he just ran into her, we don't necessarily know what the ramifications of this meeting will be.
Right.
You know, maybe it's something where she'll try and help him out or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, there's everything that happened at the island that Hitomi might have grown, developed from, or at the very least have something more to her since that point.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool conversations that could end up happening.
Sure.
And while this is kind of seeming like the beginning of a new little mini arc of story, it doesn't have to be that big of a thing. So yeah, let's find out what it is. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into it. What if she's like, wow, you actually are out here? Like, that's good, you know? Oh.
Wait.
Whoa. Oh my. Wow.
Okay. So. Wait. Is this his imagination?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. I was gonna say, how did they get there?
On a day like this. What does this day mean? Huh? Right. Aww. Yeah, because he's out here. Right.
Yep.
What's happened with you, Hitomi?
Yeah. She's married.
Or engaged at the very least. Oh, did you guys have a fight out here? Yeah. No. Okay. That's true. That's true. Okay. Oh dang, this might actually end up going that way. You know? Oh boy. Well, you know, it's not. Sure. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Self-sabotage.
It's the idea of once you've gone through so much pain, you expect things to go wrong at some point. So you end up self-sabotaging because of reasons or what have you. Oh, Misaki! Life is pain. Anyone that says differently is selling something. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, come on, Sato. Yeah, here we are.
Yep.
And she's drunk, so...
Wait, again?
What the heck, show? You keep like luring us in.
先輩、本当は幸せなんでしょ？ここでやっちゃったら悪の組織の思うツボですよ。
そっか。そうだよね。
Oh.
危うく陰謀にはまるところだったわ。
Wow.
そうですよ。
And Misaki. Yep. Just makes too much sense. Yep.
Okay, so...
It hurts. Wow. It's a lot of pain between then and now.
Okay.
Sato, you're gonna have to survive that. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, her smile.
Yeah.
Her smile was so
Yeah.
genuine. Oh,
Misaki-chan.
she knew he would come back here.
まだいたんだ。おごってくれたんだよ。人のいいおじさんの相手を。
Ah, why lie?
それより初詣はもう済ませた。まだなら一緒に。
無理だよ。
Oh.
だって神様がいるとしてもきっと悪者に決まってるから。
Oh, now she's going to believe in the conspiracies now too because.
おやすみなさい。
あいつがわけわかんないのは今に始まったことじゃないか。
Come on.
Oh
boy.
佐藤君は私を必要としてるの。絶対に。
wow.
あれはアリエンティストだよ。
もしもし。
Okay, Boomer. Yamazaki!
飲んでるのか？
飲んでますよ。
牧場の跡取り息子ともなると違うもんだな。
知ってました？田舎の人間関係って酒さえ飲んでればなんとかなるんです。万事 OK なんですよ。こんなことなら東京にいる間にもっと鍛えてればよかったな。
To go the distance with them, you know?
佐藤さんも酒鍛えとかないとダメですよ。飲むで思い出しましたよ。
Oh,
佐藤さんに電話した本来の要件を。
I love the voice acting here. It's
そうだ
amazing.
よ。佐藤君は食べ物にも困るようなダメ人間だもの。
それが今全国的に牛乳がダブついててさ。
Wait.
山崎のところで作った乳製品とかも相当余ってるらしいんだよ。何しろ赤ちゃんは母乳だけで大きくなるんだからな。ミルクさえあれば食生活に問題ないぜ。
それってもう私は必要ないってこと。
ただほら、捨てる神あれば拾う神ありって。
そんな神様。神様なんて。
Cool. Let's get into Misaki's character now. Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, is he gonna show up and she's not gonna be there?
Yeah.
Yep.
勝手にサボると罰金100万円だから。
あ、そうか。
Oh.
契約に違反したらそっちも払うんだ。
Oh no, the cat. Oh.
Never rains, but it pours.
Oh. Hey, they're at a shrine now. They can.
神様についての講義をしたいと思います。
Ah, here we go.
人生の苦しいことと楽しいことの割合をグラフにしてみました。
Jeez.
これを見ても明らかなように、神様を信じる人はこの世界を神様が作ったと言ってます。つまりこんな苦しいことだらけの世界を作ったのは神様ということになります。神様は悪いやつなんです。間違いありません。神
This
様
doesn't seem
は
like
悪
a
者だ
lecture. It seems like.
何かと意地悪をするんです。佐藤君を引きこもらせたのもきっと神様です。それから佐藤君とあの先輩がホテルから出てくるところを私に見せたのも神様を倒せばいいんです。意地悪な神様がいなくなればこの世はきっと素敵なものになるはずなんです。
Wow. All right. Let's get into this.
私
Oh.
想像力貧困だから他の人みたいにうまく神様を信じ込むことができないの。
他の人
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
目の前ですごく派手な奇跡起こしてくれればいいのに。そうすれば神様だって信じられるのに、悪いこと全部神様のせいにできるのに。
Wow.
Yep.
This is good.
私は悪くないって。
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Wow. I am so impressed with Misaki here. This is incredible. This is all, after they honored the dead cat, with a burial and stuff like that.
これから俺はどうしたらいいんだ。
Wow. This episode just keeps going, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
これだけ長い時間をかけてプロジェクトを進めてきたんだも
What
ん。
is she writing?
佐藤くん。佐藤くんはも
No.
う私の虜だよね。
Oh, I'm really worried now.
Yeah. But.
Wow, we're getting into some really interesting stuff, though.
Yeah, so
they didn't go into the Hitomi stuff much at all.
Well,
It was just
yeah.
a one-off, like...
it was like, okay, they're at a hotel. Whoa, how did this happen? No,
He has a very overactive imagination.
Yep.
'Cause he is
and then
horny
it
as
actually
hell.
happens, and it's like, oh, it's actually going there. Nope.
Nope. Again, he's horny as hell.
Fool me
and-
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame
Right?
on me.
Good luck editing out all the newbie, the nudity, Marcus. Like,
Yeah.
but oh my gosh, we're like, like this is such a natural conclusion of anyone that goes asking the question why. You eventually come back to a lot of the conclusions that people throughout history have come to when trying to explain and answer why questions when they have literally nothing to go on.
Right.
There's always some like grand reason, and it usually is this thing that Misaki's talking about. I don't want it to be my fault. It has to be some forces beyond my control. The conspiracy, the same
Right,
thing.
right.
And it's so good. Wow, what a
All right.
jam-packed episode.
Yeah,
So-
for real.
Yeah, Hitomi. We got Imagination Hitomi where
Twice.
Sato and Hitomi are hooking up in a hotel. Okay, then we also have what actually is going on with Hitomi where she's
pregnant.
coming up on marriage or she is either married. It doesn't really matter
She's
which
about
one
to get
it
married.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Uh-huh.
But the main point of it is that she is having in the moment some feelings regarding this whole thing that is making her feel a little bit out of sorts. And then Sato ends up actually helping her a little bit in this instance because he just is another person
He's
that
there.
she can connect with it because he's there. So
Mhm.
she processes a lot of this stuff. And
Yep.
then she resolves, hey, let's come back and see each other again when we've beaten those conspiracies.
Right.
When we've made sure those conspiracies don't have anything on us.
Mhm.
And we'll all have found happy, stable lives.
Yep.
And then she's like, by the way,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna be a mom.
Yeah.
And it's like the smile on her face of like, yeah, like, aren't you excited too? And he's like, wow, like, yeah. And in this moment, it's something happy because Hitomi has gone through so much where she might have already found the key to beating the conspiracy. It's these people that are going to be near her.
Right.
And the kind of thing that she can look forward to, that she'll get to see people like that who will have also beaten the conspiracy with her. It's not that life isn't pain. It's not that life isn't a struggle. And she might have already given Sato maybe the answer as well to what's going to be the issue with Misaki in these next maybe couple episodes, which I am so in for.
So they're fully going to Misaki's story. Awesome. I love it.
It's about time.
Yes, it is. But okay, so one of the things that's really, really tough
Yeah.
is that because of how the characters are set up, they're not the types of characters to confront each other about things. Not really.
Yeah, Yamazaki did a little bit of that, but not really anyone else.
But Yamazaki did the most of that, but even then it was more of him loudly shouting.
Yeah, exactly.
Than true, like, meaningful confrontation.
Right.
With Misaki and Sato, it's like there are all these opportunities for one of them to break the ice, be there for the person, you know, meet the other person in the middle.
Right.
But they don't do it.
Yeah,
they don't do it.
They got their own unhealthiness that keeps things from being handled in a healthy way.
Right. Yep. And here we are. Misaki is really not doing well.
Nope.
And Sato doesn't even really notice it.
Nope.
Which is crazy, but then at the same time, if Sato's used to being in this place, he wouldn't see it as different if someone else is in the same situation as him.
Nope.
So, wow.
Yeah. I had my heart broken when she was wondering whether or not she was a necessary human being in her room. Oh, and then there were the little flashbacks, it seems like, to like specific moments.
Looks like her dad.
But then there's also this other bit where it's like blinding light or lava. And
it's remembering it. Oh, wait. No, maybe this is Sato. Remembering when Sato was about to jump and then when he yelled at her on the beach. But that doesn't seem like Sato on the beach because...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that this part where she's like, I'm not an unnecessary human being. Sato needs me. He absolutely does. That was a moment, though, where Sato did need her. That moment on the beach where she was in the boat. And it's her basically saying, that happened, he still does need me. But the idea that she had to potentially draw up something like that, or it's something more tied to her past that was saying, you're not necessary.
Right. Although
either way, that just breaks my heart. Like
that was also a situation where there was a betrayal of trust, basically.
Yep.
And that it wasn't her fault, you know, but it was something that contributed to Sato's state at that point in time.
Yeah, but again, she's not to blame for that.
Right. Yeah. But Sato definitely did get pretty mad at her even after it was all resolved. So yeah.
Just the idea that we're exploring Misaki's particular issues here as it being something where she's wanting to make sure that she's needed/wanted and or she has a purpose in life. And I love that she comes from the religious kind of background of things because I understand that. I have seen that. I've experienced that. I've been in environments like that. I get this. I get this. There is a tendency, I would say, in the religious circles to be answering the question of why. And the question of why usually comes to, why do I exist? Right. Why, or maybe even in a what way to say it, what is my purpose? What is my reason for living? And there's all kinds of answers that people are quick to give usually. And I think the reason why a lot of people are quick to give a reason is because not having an answer
is scary.
Yeah. And it is so scary that entire religions, cults, belief systems, worldviews, internal mental states are constructed out of nothing more than the fear of having to answer that question. Because I think it's okay to every once in a while be like, I don't need to ask that question.
Right.
It's okay to just live.
Right, exactly.
And to make the most out of the present. Right. Because so much of that purpose question is based on, like, the future and all kinds of things that aren't just in the present moment, you know? Yeah. So I love that we're getting into this.
Yeah, it's great, and the way Misaki's struggling with it, it's like, because that's a very scary question to be asking, because I mean, you know, whole existence of humanity, we still haven't fully come up with an answer that everyone's satisfied with, right?
We probably never will in a lot of ways.
Will. So then the question is okay, skip that question. You're here. What are you going to do? Right. And
a lot of people can't skip that question.
Right. A lot of people can't skip that question, and it makes sense because there is so much pain in life, right?
There's a lot of pain.
Whether it's truly accurate to the diagram that Misaki showed, you know, who knows? But the thing is, there's a lot of pain, and how do you make it worth that?
Right. And just because not all the pain is happening to you doesn't mean that all that pain is something that, doesn't exist. One of the things that's rather fascinating about Sato's character is that because he sees so many things in his environment as a conspiracy, it all accidentally ends up revolving around him, which in some ways keeps him in tune with a lot of the pain and suffering and craziness that is our reality, is our world. So for Misaki here, maybe she separated all of that. And this is another thing that I think that religion does, is it specifically kind of tries to unburden you from certain things in your environment by being like, that doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
You are chosen, you are connected to something greater.
Right.
So you can
let the infinite big man in the sky take care of that.
Yeah, let that all happen. And then sometimes a cat dies right in front of you. Sometimes a thing happens that just sucks. It's just a slap in the face of being like, why did this have to happen? It didn't.
And
it doesn't.
Now,
it's just random chaos. That's just the environment that we are in. It's life.
Yeah.
And why now? Exactly. I love that this happened. It sucks. It's painful. When you were like, when it rains, it pours. Yeah. I'm like, that is so true.
And the thing is that because that whole concept exists of when it rains, it pours, or it never rains, but it pours. It would be very easy to look at something like this and say conspiracy, right?
Sure.
Oh, I see.
How convenient.
I see Sato and some girl leaving a hotel, even though she didn't actually see them leaving the hotel because they didn't go into the hotel, but they were near a hotel. And then, the same day, right? Oh, yeah. And that's after I've been looking around for him all day.
Right.
And then at the end of that day, oh, by the way, or the next day,
maybe the next day,
cat dies.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like, wow, well, okay. Yeah. Conspiracy. God
must be a villain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because this is too bad to not be vindictive.
Right. And what is great about this is then that is proof in some ways that she believes in some kind of supreme being that is actively working against her.
Sure.
So then she denies that by saying, no, I actually don't have that big of an imagination to even let myself believe that. But I kind of wish I could, because I've now come to the realization that whatever that force is, I would blame it for all of my problems.
Right.
And, what do you know? Sato's like, I do that.
Yeah. I may not call it God. I may call it, it's a conspiracy from people
from
out
a super
there.
Organization or what have you.
But still basically the same thing. Yeah. It's something that you don't understand, that you don't have to explain. It just is the answer for all the things that you don't get. Right?
Yep. And one of the things I love about this, just in terms of the thing that stirs up discussion, is there's a lot of reasons, or no, let me put it even in a little bit of a not a harsher way, but a little bit of a whatever it is this way. There's a lot of excuses to complain out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of excuses of a way to lament about how the environment is one that is bad.
And that doesn't mean it's not valid. There could be plenty of reasons, legitimate reasons why it's like, this absolutely sucks. Right?
Yep.
What are you going to do about it?
But that question of what are you going to do about it is actively flying in the face of the idea of what Misaki has come to the conclusion of, is that there must be a conspiracy, which means it doesn't matter what she does about it. She can't be God.
Yes.
She can't go out there and overthrow.
Exactly. So therefore, it's okay if I just give up because there's nothing I could have done in the first place.
And this way of thinking is so just deviously close to where the truth, or not the truth, but like where reality lies, is that there is it is so skirting the line around what is real. Or what is not real.
Right. There are plenty of things in your life that you don't have the ability to change.
Yeah, you have no control over.
Right.
Yep.
But you don't know until you try.
Yep.
Right?
You literally cannot know.
Yeah. You cannot know.
Yep.
And while there are plenty of things that you can't control out here, one of the things that you can control sometimes on a good day.
Sometimes on a good day.
Sometimes on a good day, and that's very important, is yourself and how you respond to those things.
Exactly.
And the amount of, and while there are plenty of things that we can't change, if we were to actually see what we could change, not that we could change everything, right?
Right.
But given at this point in time, of all the things that I say, me personally, I would desire to be changed, which ones could I theoretically eventually actually be able to affect some change over? The list is pretty big.
The list is a lot bigger usually than we're comfortable admitting.
Right.
And I would say that that's probably the most painful part of it all, is that life is full of so much pain. And this is the part that's just way too real, is that it almost doesn't matter sometimes whether or not you can change it. It's about how much of a pain tolerance do you have in order to go through to make a little change in that.
Right.
Because let's be real, there's a lot of things that I can change. I'm not going to change those things though.
Yep.
I can literally go and list off a whole bunch of things that I can change that I'm never going to change. And I can even say that and it won't actually change whether or not I'm going to change those things. No, really, like that is a thing that is like too painfully real about life and existence, is that there are points where it's a bit too late. You made choices that unfortunately lead towards a specific thing here. And one of these is the one that I would say that's actually going to be really tough maybe for Sato. And I think this is where the show is leading towards, is that he's never fully going to get out of hikikomori. He's never fully going to completely remove all of his social anxieties.
Sure.
Even if he gets comfortable enough to the point where he is able to function in a crowded, busy, noisy area with lots of people, he is still going to have that bit of social anxiety in him that will hold him back. And even if it's something that takes, like, let's say we could project out into the future 25 years or 10 years. I love that Hitomi did that because it's literally setting us up for the whole moment where he's like, wait, how long is this going to take? Or not only how long is this going to take, but can I actually be free of this?
If I continue going as I have, where will that lead me?
Yeah, and also the idea that Hitomi kind of idealized it by saying, I'm sure at that point the organization will have nothing on us.
Right.
And I could almost like see Sato's brain being like, wait, I'm not so sure about that. Like, I'm not even sure I can believe that.
Well,
like,
and I think even Hitomi wasn't so sure of that. And that's why she said it.
Exactly.
Right? Because she's trying to speak it into beings. Tell herself that so that she'll actually believe to take the actions. Because even though it was Sato's imagination those two times, there was a reason that they were near a hotel. Right? There's a reason why it was important that Sato, interjected when he did. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I just absolutely love that Misaki went through the causal link of her thought process out in front of Sato here and gave, now that I think about it, actually not necessarily in the strictest terms of it, a lecture, but actually a full out processing of her own internal kind of wrestlings with the idea of a god. Or what have you.
And even then, the fact that she's saying it, because it doesn't seem like she's needing to come to the realization.
Yeah.
She's trying to reassure herself, right, that it isn't her fault.
Yep.
Right? Because she doesn't believe in God. Right? Yeah.
And then once she realizes that she can't change in the immediate sense anything regarding how her feelings and her beliefs match or how they interact, she just breaks down and starts to cry.
Yeah.
Because that is a painful feeling of powerlessness. And then I love that they go and have the shot of zooming back over the burial site of the cat, meaning like there was nothing she could do to stop that cat from dying. Or wait, maybe there was.
Maybe there was.
But who knows?
Who knows?
There's no answer to that question that satisfies you.
Now, eventually, though, they go back to Misaki when she's in her room.
Yep.
And she
is writing something, and then they show her little stuffed animal
turned
away
in
with
shadow.
a tear of sorts coming down,
which is a standard thing it's had.
Yeah, for sure. But then just the idea of saying, I'm sure it's fine, it's perfect. After all, I've spent this long a time advancing my project. Sato is already my captive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, let's just say that there are a couple delusions that you could fall into here that are rather natural for Misaki.
Mm-hmm.
One is that life is pointless. There is no necessary reason for living.
Sure.
And there is a slight element of truth always to these kinds of delusions. That's why they ring.
That's why they stick.
Yeah. There's also the other delusion where she kind of goes into what Sato fell into. Remember when he started to believe that he was God?
Yep.
That he actually could control all of reality and shape it to his will.
Yeah.
And almost immediately, reality smacks him upside the head as he tries to summon back Yamazaki.
Yep.
I am worried that this is this situation where it's not that she believes she's God, but then she then sees all the people, all the things in her environment in the same way that Sato does, but on a more vindictive side. I love to use the word vindictive. The idea that this is an active villain with, like cronies and forces and schemes and what have you that are actively coming after her. And in some ways, like, she either needs to flee from that in her delusion, or maybe put up a kind of a meat shield in the way.
Well, yeah.
Someone to use and maybe even abuse a little bit.
Yeah. And given the fact that she said my captive. This will be interesting.
This will be very
interesting. I can't wait to see how this goes because, again, there was what I kind of expected this episode would probably sort of go over.
Right.
Nope.
Not at all.
Very different. Yeah.
So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general. And you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
Yes, so I wrote a sci-fi novel. It's called Battle Lines, if you haven't heard of it before. And it's really cool, and it's on Amazon. Link down in the doobly-doo below in both hardback and ebook. Go check it out.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.